month recovery from that injury is reasonable. That puts him right around week 1, and he has said he hopes to be back by week 1. Now, it's too early in the year to say for sure that he will, but all positive from what I understand in terms of his recovery. He has full and complete faith in the Chiefs' training and medical staff because of past issues. They've helped him get through quickly, so he's been in constant contact with them all off season. And Andy Reid saying over the weekend that he, would be able to participate this week in OTAs. Now, Andy also made it clear, like, look, this isn't real practice. This isn't the offense versus defense this time of year. So it's not like, he's going through anything too significant. But the fact that he's able to do anything at all, I think they see as a good sign. And it seems like he's on track to hopefully be back early in the season, if not right away week 1.
Let's stick with quarterbacks, Graz. So the Colts will not pick up the 5th-year team option on Anthony Richardson Sr.'s contract. With them declining to do so, he hits unrestricted free agency after the 2026 season. What do you think the market will be for Anthony Richardson?
As a free agent, I think there'll be, it'll be like Justin Fields light, because he doesn't have the experience starting games that someone like Justin has, but he's still viewed as someone who has the talent that you can do something with. So if Anthony Richardson sees the field in 2026 and has some level of success, all of a sudden now we could be talking about a Malik Willis situation, right? But if he doesn't, like if, let's say Daniel Jones comes back healthy, plays all 17 games, then I think, you're hoping to get something like a veteran minimum salary deal and with incentives and prove you still have something. But this is a guy that when the Colts drafted him, they said he needs to be on the field. He needs more experience. He needs more reps. He hasn't been able to get them due to injury and also, to some extent, ineffectiveness. So it really depends on how much, if at all, he can play this year and what he can show anybody.
And the timing of it, too. I mean, they may not want to move him right now. Might there be another time in the future? We'll see. That brings me back to a conversation we had last week when Michelle was going through her top 5 quarterback battles, and Minnesota being one of them. Are you of the agreement that whoever wins that job, the loser ends up on a different team this year?
This year? Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's this, because if you're the Vikings, like, what would it take to trade J.J. McCarthy right now? Like, you've paid 70% of the rookie contract. You at one point you believed in him as a franchise quarterback. Kyler Murray's only signed for 1 year, and has a no franchise clause in the deal. So you're not committed to him beyond this year. There's no guarantee you can get him back. I think it would, if you're Minnesota, you're still asking for a fairly high price for J.J. McCarthy, and probably high enough that there's no one out there who's going to pay it right now. So yeah, I'm not sure I assume that. I don't get the sense they're ready to give up on McCarthy just yet. Maybe I'm naive, but that's sort of what I've been told from inside that building this offseason.
We're talking with Dan Graziano here on Unsportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance. The Steelers' decision to place the unrestricted free agent tender on Aaron Rodgers means what?
Means that if he doesn't sign by July 22nd, he can only sign with them. That's pretty much it. It doesn't change anything for him in the short term. He's still an unrestricted free agent, can sign with anybody he wants for whatever amount he wants. But the Steelers have this is not a hedge against him retiring. He can still retire. It's a hedge against him signing with some other team.
Is there another team?
No. But let's say, for example, 2 weeks from now, he's still not signed. And Matthew Stafford wakes up in the morning and goes, you know what? I'm actually done. Like, right? Like, I'm making this up. This is purely speculative, right? But like, or somebody on a contending team, that Patrick Mahomes has a setback, right? And all of a sudden there's a contending team looking for someone who can step in and play quarterback. Then that becomes a situation where if he signs somewhere else, Pittsburgh would still be eligible to get a compensatory pick in the 2027 draft for him. If they hadn't put the tender on him, then they wouldn't. So it's pretty a procedural move in case some circumstance changes that results in him signing somewhere else.
They're obviously protecting themselves in that manner, Graz, but are you surprised that we're sitting here yet again, and even though the Steelers said the timeline is going to be different this year, don't expect it to be like last year, and we still don't have an Aaron Rodgers decision? What's your interpretation from the Steelers side of things?
Are you surprised? Because
from the Steelers?
I'm not.
From the Steelers, I am.
I mean,
Maybe
it's
I should
Aaron
be.
Rodgers. Like,
I'm not
this is how
surprised
it
on the
works.
Rodgers side.
Right.
I'm surprised that turning the page into a new regime with the Steelers, that they would go down the exact same road that they did last year.
Big picture, I am surprised that's the decision the Steelers made. It seems like they made it so long ago that I like it's not. I thought you were saying, are you surprised it's taking this long?
No, not on the Rodgers side, on the Steelers side.
I am. I think they should be thinking bigger. They've kind of closed themselves off to other possibilities the last 2 years. They never even checked in on Sam Darnold, right, last year when he was a free agent. So I'm surprised that this is so clearly the way they want to keep going. I think we saw last year what the ceiling is for them with Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his life and career, and I think they should be thinking about elevating that ceiling a lot more than they are.
So we're 2 weeks now removed from the NFL draft, and usually if there's movement in front offices, Graz, it's already happened by now. There was a lot of speculation about Joe Shane. Would he be the general manager for the Giants after the draft? It's May 4th. He still has a job. Do you think that he will have that job the entire 26th season?
I think there's a lot of chatter about that, as you mentioned, and I think you do sometimes see lower-level front office movement after the draft. People just switch up their scouting staffs and all that. And we have seen past years where teams have made general manager changes. They're going through a process right now in Minnesota looking for a GM. So my understanding on the Giants is that John Harbaugh is the one sort of in charge of how things are going right now, to a greater extent than Joe Shane is, to a greater extent than Joe Shane was before Harbaugh got there. So, could we find a situation where Harbaugh and Shane work together and Shane sticks around? I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility. But I also do think it's a situation worth watching. That the significance of the change in the power structure with the Giants certainly puts Joe Shane's position in jeopardy. I think that's fair to say. I don't think Joe would be upset with me if he heard me say that. I think he would understand why you would say that. But I don't know for a fact yet if I can't say, he's definitely going to be out when his contract's up or whatever. I think there's still a chance he finds his sort of role in the whole thing, and they can end up working together.
Last thing here with Dan Graziano, ESPN NFL Insider. You'll see him on SportsCenter in about 10 minutes on Get Up at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. The NFL story that we are not paying enough attention to right now is?
Oh, geez. Boy, you put me right on the spot
NFL.
there.
Let me rephrase it. The NFL story that you're passionate about, that you would talk about more than we're currently talking about. Is there one?
The referees?
Okay, go ahead.
Like the fact that they don't have an agreement yet, like that. If there's replacement officials this September, October, that's going to be pretty rough. And yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know.
That's an interesting one. That's one of those. It's not fun to speculate. It becomes the biggest story when it happens.
I also say this, like the Baltimore Ravens tried to do a contract extension with Lamar Jackson this offseason and didn't get it done. He's got 2 years left on his contract. They go through this season, they still don't have an extension. Like we're having conversations about, is he going to be there long term? So I think that's something that people haven't paid enough attention to.
Well, I think you answered that question pretty damn well, to say the least.
I just needed a minute.
No, that was awesome. The second part of it. Wow. Dan Graziano, you'll see him in 10 minutes on SportsCenter. You'll see him on Get Up at 8 a.m. Eastern, and you'll see him. What?
I could be able to get rid of me. I'll be on all day.
NFL Live at 4 p.m.
Yeah,
Eastern?
I got 2 o'clock SportsCenter, man. I'm like.
He's everywhere.
Tricky
I'm
spot.
holding
You're going to
the
have to go
whole
to a
thing up.
different location for the 2 o'clock SportsCenter, right?
Yeah, well, I'll be in Bristol.